To be honest, I'm surprised about how tame the criticisms are, talking about excessive. This is, even according to President Macron, genocidal violence. This is textbook, as the UN representative, textbook ethnic cleansing. 400,000 people driven out. Scenes reminiscent of Apocalypse Now or The Deer Hunter in terms of the treatment of these people. It's absolutely appalling. And what is most shameful of it all is that a Nobel Peace Prizer, Aung San Suu Kyi, is apologising for this stuff. That's what she's doing. She accused the Rohingya of being Bengalis, of burning their own homes, incredibly, giving licence to the military who've been doing this for years, to genocidally attack and ethnically cleanse the Rohingya in vicious Islamophobic violence with enormous human cost. We should be absolutely forthright in demanding the stripping of the freedom of this city from her, and that she is stripped of her Nobel Peace Prize, and absolutely forthright criticism of ending any kind of cooperation with the Burmese regime, with the Myanmar regime, while it continues with this.
Response, Minister, if you would, please.
Just to respond with regards to the freedom of the city, I mean, this is obviously a matter for Dublin City Council, so this is a decision that was made by the Council to give it in the first place, so it's a decision that has to be taken. Again, to stress, the Government absolutely condemns the violence that is taking place, including the attacks by the Salvation Army, the excessive actions, or whatever way you want to put it, that the security forces have undertaken. We absolutely condemn this violence, and to ask what is happening with Ireland and with the EU. Obviously, as members of the EU, we're looking to find solutions, both in bilateral context with Myanmar and via its participation in the international force. So this includes the UN General Assembly, the Human Rights Council, which are meeting this month in New York and in Geneva. The EU has led a resolution on the human rights situation in Myanmar at the Human Rights Council on an annual basis, and most recently in March of this year it renewed the mandate of the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights in Myanmar by another year, and it's led a resolution on the human rights situation on an annual basis, most recently in March of this year, which has renewed the mandate of the Special Rapporteur on Human Rights again. So these concerns are being raised directly with the Government of Myanmar. The EU delegation, which was led by the EAS, raised it when it met with the Myanmar authorities in early September, and the EU delegation continues to do so on a regular basis, and members of the EU obviously were very much part of that process.